Guys, so today I'll be explaining my code that I did for chess. So this is the board here, and I ran it with ColorTest Pi. We have all these pieces. These are the black pieces, these are the white pieces. 8 being the end of the board and whatever. And we have A through H, and it's all labeled here. Looks really nice, but I put this under ColorTest. So what I worked on today for my project was, if you go into if you can still see, you go here, you can see I have ColorTest Pi, empty chessboard, lists all the columns and rows, and in those columns and rows it'll list out the stuff on top, list the stuff on the bottom. It shows how it's going to list the rows, how it's going to list the columns, and where it's going to put the numbers, which is on every line. For columns, it's going to print the color, and it's going to print integers with it. The columns are going to have the text that explains it. And we have reset. We have which will be no color. We got a white background. We have a green background, which I made a forest green to make it nice. No one even knows what that is. And we have a black text. We don't need a gray text. We haven't worked on pieces yet. But yeah, basically all this stuff, I asked ChatGPT to set up the board, make it look nice. That's what this stuff does here. Then we have the actual chessboard, and this is the stuff that will also work, but I haven't pasted in the other code. And we're thinking of getting game logic here, but that usually runs in the game engine we have, which is determined off a game board. So yeah, and then we have player pi, because we need a way to play, we need a way to do inputs. So this will take the inputs of any player and put them here, and it's really nice and it's really set out. Shout out to Madi. Try explaining some of it. And we have WebSockets, of course. So this is all this stuff from step 7, step 8, from the other stuff from Tic-Tac-Toe Labs. Put it all here. And it basically takes in arguments. Use team number, which is going to be white and black. We have stream number, everything, port down here, local host, which is 8,000. But I think we're supposed to be using 8001, 8002, 8003. I'm not going to change it tomorrow because it's not worth it. But yeah, we have all this code that Madi set up, some positions, post, reset, get, all those commands that we need to make sure work with post. And then we have game over, which is an instance, but as you can see, it's 0 through 8, and this is all tic-tac-toe logic. We're just going to use it here. Hopefully it works a lot nicer. But yeah, that's about it. Also, I use ChatGPT, obviously. If I go back here, I asked it for a nice layout and setup to make things work. I was testing with darker blues and stuff. Like if I go back to my terminal, in fact, you can see that there was several tries and attempts before I got a nice looking dark green, which reminds me of chess.com if you've ever used that. And yeah, made everything really nice for me. But yeah, did that, and it set up the main logic, which I wanted stored variables in a definition to make sure we were able to assign all these pieces values, and we we're going to have separate definitions for the board updated variables, which can be defined in the class, which is going to be in our game logic before we have the stuff that runs in player and stuff. But yeah, that's about it.